Okay, moving forward to the email delivery and how we can ensure that our emails are getting delivered to the prospects. So email sending, reputation, and deliverability are important at Pardot. Deliverability describe how likely it is that your message is delivered to a recipient inbox. Email sending reputation describes how respected your IP address is by receiving email server. Okay, so for a good email sending reputation, what we need to have is we need to define our email sending domain and our tracker subdomain. So what the tracker subdomain and email sending domain is, so when we define the tracker domain, we define the tracker domain in admin and then domain management. This is our product training org, so we have not set up the tracker domains yet. So by default, every product account gets this primary domain, which has go.pardot.com. So every content that we create, like if we are creating landing pages and we go to the landing page, and any landing page, if we see, you see the vanity URL is go.pardot.com, and then uh, some URL is there, right? So when someone visits our landing page, so this is a sample landing page. So someone visits our landing page, it will be go.pardot.com for every account. Okay, so if there are 1,000 customers of Pardot, everyone will have the same go.pardot.com default tracker domain. So what adding a tracker domain does is we can create a tracker domain, and let's say if our website is www.comleadcloud.com, we want all our assets in the Pardot to be on the same URL, to be somewhat like same URL. So what we can do is we can create a Pardot tracker domain. We can add tracker domain like http colon www.2.comreadcloud.com. So once we do it and then we enable the domain here, then we will be able to make changes on the landing pages or any of the product assets that is getting created. So right now we do not have the ability to modify this vanity URL. Once we set up the tracker domain, we will have the ability to give it a name similar to our website, which is comradecloud.com that we have. We can have all our assets in the product with the same URL format. So we can, once we enable it, we will get something like we will this part http colon double slash go.pardot.com will be replaced with your tracker domain. In our case, it will be http colon comradecloud.com and slash. You can then enter the name that you want. So you can customize this sub URL that is appearing once you enable the tracker domain. So you'll be able to do it. And then we have this email sending domains. Once we add the email sending domain using the sender poly SPF or the domain keys identified mail framework, which are the two major, which is used by an email server to identify whether it is coming from a good mail server or not. So that once both of these are present, the tracker domain and email sending domains are present, then the chances of getting your email delivered to the prospect is high. Your email will not be bouncing. Your email will not be sending to the spam folders of the prospects once we have these enabled. So what we can the it is advisable to do the setup of the tracker domains and email sending domains before we should be going with sending out the list emails and any other emails. We also need to make sure that whatever the content that we are creating for our email templates, those those content must also have a text version. So if we go on to the email templates, if we look at the email templates, usually what people misses out on creating the email templates is they create the email template, they design it, but what they forgot to do is they forgot to create the text version of the email. So which is very much needed, so that the email clients where your HTML content is not rendered, your text version will be rendered. So make sure when creating an email template, like we are having it here, and we also have the text version. So let's say, I'm sorry. So let's say if this HTML content is not delivering, or our email client is not able to render it properly, then this text version is used. Okay. So this is, right now you can see this is not a very good email. If this were to be presented, the text version, this is directly synced from HTML. So what the mistake here is, we synced it from HTML, and that's why it has created all this thing. So consider a scenario, if this is going to be delivered to a customer, to a prospect, it will not be, it is not good at all. So what we need to make sure is, whenever we are creating any HTML template, we should be writing the text version as good as we are writing the HTML. So that this text version will not have any of the images or anything, but we must make sure that we must convey our message to our prospects via this text version also. We can use the dynamic variables here to insert the prospect's name and whatever the message that we would like to convey, and that should be it. So make sure we have the HTML and text both version designed to be delivered, designed to be responsive in the uh, mobile devices also. And we must make sure that this text version is also created, uh, for every email template that we define.